All right, so to all those people that are listening today, welcome to another episode of the Live Better Now podcast. My guest today is Tom Paladino, and Tom is going to give us a demonstration of the instrument he uses to heal people through scalar energy. Can you just start by start off when you did the light bulb and then into how consciousness is the power of this energy?
Well, these instruments are scalar energy instruments. They're not electrical instruments. I'm going to show the audience, demonstrate how these instruments differ from that of a typical appliance. I'm going to hold in my hand a light bulb that's in its plastic packaging from the factory. This instrument is so strong, it will animate a light bulb in my hand. Why? Because scalar energy fills an environment. There's another experiment. I can hold this light bulb, and it illuminates under the influence of scalar energy. So this is the free energy of the universe. These, if you will, this is a miniature star. If a star can send out light to the universe to illuminate the universe, I can light up a light bulb with my miniature star. That's consciousness. That's the free energy of the universe that I'm using. Obviously, that's not an electrical instrument. So what are we getting at? There is another dimension of consciousness. That's what I work with. This is a scalar energy instrument working through that realm of consciousness. And with that, it instructs everything. Consciousness, the intelligence of the universe, provides the instructions, the intelligence for everything. So we are really at the, if you will, the first cause of nature, which is intelligence.
Yeah, that is amazing. That was really cool. So obviously humans are conscious individuals, right? We're conscious and we can be aware of our own consciousness. We can think about what we think about. There's different states of consciousness, whether you're sleeping, dreaming, or awake. How do we channel this consciousness, this energy, and what can we use it for?
We do it every day. I say this, and I'm not being snide about this. Everybody's a scalar energy expert. What do I mean? Our intelligence, our cognitive ability, creativity, our thoughts, our memories, our emotions, our feelings, all of that is a scalar wave, a scalar animation, if you will. So when we look at people, ourselves, what animates us? It's light, it's energy. Nothing, if you will, supersedes light or energy. Light energy is fundamental. So when we accept this illuminating light, what does this do? It gives us our thought. It provides creativity. It provides our feeling of euphoria. It actually is responsible for our circadian rhythm. Light provides the instructions for everything. Scalar light, what I just demonstrated, is the animating force for everything. Now, if we can tap into that force, then we can enhance our well-being.
Okay. So if we can create more scalar energy, we will enhance our well-being. So how do we create more scalar energy?
By praying, by meditating, by doing good deeds. It's become apparent to me that prayer, meditation, is a scalar wave. And this has been proven, at least in an anecdotal sense. When people pray, they can improve the outcome. The outcome is more favorable. So what is a prayer? You're sending out a scalar wave. You're sending out scalar instructions. I can send out instructions through this instrument. People can pray or meditate or positive thinking. That's a scalar wave. Now, you've mentioned the law of attraction. What is the law of attraction? The animating intelligence is scalar energy. What you project is what you're asking for. If you say, I'm going to have a good day, indeed, you'll have a good day. If you say, I want to be positive, I want to be aligned with people, I want to be a positive influence, you're going to be a positive influence in some measure. If you have a negative day, well, you're probably going to inherit those negative consequences.
Okay. So is there a machine that can register or measure the scalar energy that we're giving off into the world?
No. And I'll tell you why. I've never been able to measure the energy because it's omnipresent. There's no basic unit.
Okay.
There's not a meter or a mile or a liter. It cannot be measured. Consciousness, now think of that, consciousness cannot be measured. You can see the before and after consequences, but you cannot measure intelligence.
Okay, so you're either conscious or unconscious. You either have scalar energy or you don't have scalar energy. Or are there different types of scalar energy? For example, let's say I wake up and I'm feeling extremely positive and I'm full of love and appreciation and gratitude. I'm obviously projecting out into the universe a very high frequency emotion.
Right.
These high frequency emotions allow my cardiovascular system, my immune system, my digestive system, to work as efficiently as possible. Okay, now if I wake up on the other side of that token where I'm pissed, I feel shame, I feel regret, I feel guilt, right? My vibration, my frequency is extremely low. Okay, and more bad things are going to happen, and it's going to create chronic stress in my mind, which is going to create cancer, right? We all know this to be true. So how do we decipher between scalar energy and how can we be more intentional about having positive scalar energy?
Yeah. I would say that scalar energy is responsible for everything, including negative thoughts. So you simply have to fixate. You have to want the positive. You have to want what's good for yourself and others. Now, this is really the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because it really has this reciprocity to it. What you project is what you receive. So with that in mind, this energy is everywhere. It is. It's from the sun and the stars, and you simply tap into it every moment of your life. Then it simply boils down to how you respond to it. You could either accept it and extrapolate upon it and magnify it, or you could use it to your undoing. It's like a hammer. If you have a hammer, you can use the hammer for constructive or destructive purposes. It's to your election.
Yeah. Has this been accepted by a lot of medical professionals? And if so, or if not, why is that the case?
It's so easy. It's so straightforward. It's so effective. I believe it's a threat to the economic order. You see, this is free energy. Over 100 years ago, Tesla tried to introduce to the world free energy. The world was not ready for that. Well, some people were, but it upsets the economic order. If everything is predicated upon this, if you will, a model, an economic model in which you have to make money, in which nothing is free, in which there has to be a cost, and then you introduce free energy from the sun and the stars, that upsets the military-industrial complex.
Got it. Okay. So society, government, politics are the reason why this has been denounced quite often.
That's correct. That's correct. And to the detriment of the people. Tesla, over 100 years ago, invented these free energy instruments. We should have listened to him. Hopefully the world will now realize that mistake and ask for, if you will, the law of attraction, bring about free energy systems. It will solve so many problems. That's what I want to do as a researcher. I solve problems.
Okay, good. What's the most common problem that you can solve the best?
Well, consider this. When people work with me, I want to make this clear, I only work with a photograph of a person. What am I getting at? These instruments work in the quantum realm. It's not a biological process. If I place a person's photograph inside the instrument, there's such a download of energy, if you will, it will balance a person's chakras. Imagine the amount of light going into this light bulb is the same identical amount of light going into my chakras. Once again, we can animate a light bulb. So if you can do that with a light bulb, you can do that with a person. We animate their chakras. We, if you will, enhance their mental, psychological state, all through the interface of a photograph. A person bilocates by way of their photograph. Obviously, my photograph is a representation of me. It's not me.
Yeah. And the photograph is just as distinct as someone's DNA or their fingerprint.
Yes. And thank you. And that's quantum intelligence. In other words, if I place my photograph, I place 30 or 40 photographs in the instrument, this energy will find the quantum field of each person, and everybody will enjoy a chakra balancing. Is
that Alex Hormozy right there? Are you balancing Alex Hormozy's chakras right now?
I received this off of Google Bing. This is just it's not anybody in particular. So the point I'm making.
Now we know why he is so successful. You've been balancing his chakras for the last 10 years.
the, the point is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're located. The key is scalar energy is everywhere. I access a person's force field through their photograph, not their biological person, their energetic being, or what some people call their spirit or their aura. So this is a different science. It's not biological. It's a new emerging science of information.
Okay. So let's say the average person, they don't want to know about all the science, but they believe you, they trust you, and they want to apply this to their life.
Yes.
What's the first thing they can do, or what's something they can do on a daily basis to take advantage of scalar energy to live a life of more overall well-being?
So thank you. So since this is a new science, these are unique instruments. I don't know of anybody who has this type of instrument. I offer everybody in the world 15 days of free sessions. Now, why do I do that? Everybody has to experience this. Again, it's never been done before, so your experience will be initial. This is the unique approach that I have with this emerging science. Anybody can go to the website and you're going to upload your photograph, email us your photograph and the photograph of family members, including your pets. And that way, by way of experience, you can decide if you felt and you can decide if this has benefited you.
Okay. And that's going to be on scalarlight.com. Scalar is spelled SCALARA.com.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. Since this works on trees and animals and children, obviously, does the person that's receiving the Scalar Light healing have to know about this? And I ask this question because it's so important to have conviction and faith and belief that what you're doing is the right thing. Obviously, we know about the placebo effect, but sometimes just having that faith, that hope that everything's going to work out helps you increase your chances of it actually working out. So does the person have to know that you're performing this procedure, if you will, on them?
To answer your question, no. And why? Because many times a mother will send us photographs of a young child or an infant. And I don't think those young children quite comprehend. They're not of the age of reason. However, we do ask if you're of age that you send in your photograph. You don't want somebody else submitting your photograph. And then what we've noticed is if you are in harmony, if you agree to the healing, that seems to accelerate and augment the healing. So yes, there is a placebo effect. There has to be. There's a placebo effect with everything, I believe. Yes, if you will, if it is your inclination to be a part of the healing, that will again accelerate the healing. But I have to underscore, nonetheless, scalar energy is everywhere, and regardless if you're a person, an animal, or a plant, you will still receive this energy. It's impossible not to receive scalar energy. It's fundamental. Nothing can impede this energy.
Okay. So are there things in the real world that give off scalar energy that if we get closer to, we'll receive better scalar energy? For example, if we are close to the ocean, or we're in the forest, or we're near our loved ones, does that provide us with more scalar energy?
I would say the greatest bond is between two people. That's the greatest scalar energy bond you can have. And then you have to go to nature, to the trees, to the ocean, as you mentioned. Why? That's of nature. And that works hand in hand with nature, not necessarily a concrete building. Yes, a concrete building still will absorb scalar energy, but it's not alive. Nature is alive. So why not afford yourself to be immersed in nature instead of a concrete building?
Okay. Now, does this have any similarity or correlation to grounding mats?
Yes, it does. I believe grounding is, I believe the fundament or the driving force behind grounding is the fact that the earth is saturated with scalar energy, including electromagnetic energy, and that you are now harnessing. You're walking barefooted. There is no sole of your shoe to impede that. So you are now walking in harmony with the earth. All of this makes perfect sense to go back to nature. We, as beings of nature, if you will, We are created of elements, as you well realize. Why not go back to the periodic table, so to speak? Why not go back to nature? Those elements are found in the ground. That life force energy is found in the ground, not necessarily in a concrete sidewalk. All of this calls to mind natural energy of the sun and the stars will be advantageous to our natural being.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Nature is so therapeutic, and we've been hearing a lot about that over the last few years. And what you're doing is you're bridging the gap between how and why it makes sense. And I think that that's really important.
You're absolutely right. Now we understand the science. There are two energies, electromagnetic and scalar energy. Electromagnetic energy is valid, but scalar energy really is the all-encompassing energy of the universe. This is the energy that really is responsible for all order in the universe, cognitive, spiritual, emotional. Scalar energy is the fundament of the universe. So why not go back to the underlying cause, scalar energy? If you want to feel better, you're going to do it by way of this energy.
Okay, so to kind of sum up everything that we just discussed, and we're not done with our conversation, but is this machine behind you that you invented, it basically replicates or simulates being in the ocean or being in nature or walking on the ground barefoot?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because there's...
Got it. So that...
Yes, go on.
I was saying, so that's basic. It's basically a grounding mat.
Yes,
right? Like those mats that people sleep on and the grounding shoes. And it's kind of like that.
Precisely. We're going back to nature. This energy is from the sun and the stars. I want to make this clear. When I am working with this instrument, there is no human reasoning. The energy is the healing agent, not me. The energy from the sun and the stars, this life force energy, some people call it divine energy, is what heals, not me. I don't consider myself a healer. I consider myself a researcher. So when we work with light, with energy, don't make a mistake. This is so important. I want to drive home this point. This energy does not make mistakes. Energy, light never makes a mistake. It's perfect. So when I work with perfect energy, perfect light, I have perfect results without human input. There's no human reasoning.
Yeah. So I guess the biggest difference then between your invention and a grounding mat is that your invention can work remotely, where a grounding mat does not work remotely. You have to actually physically be on top of it.
You're right. That's one of the things I really like about scalar energy. Earlier today in my laboratory, I worked with 500,000 photographs. 500,000 photographs. So instead of 500,000 people coming to an office or a clinic, you just email me your photograph. What does that mean? That translates to global healing. Every day, if I can work with 500,000 photographs, that's the easy way to perform a germ cleanse or a chakra balancing for 500,000 people.
That's amazing. So what got you into scalar energy?
Yeah.
What made you so passionate about scalar energy?
Nikola Tesla. When I was a youngster, I read about Nikola Tesla, and I saw how successful he was. Later in his life, he had free energy instruments like this. Tesla wanted to give the world free energy. I said to myself, this is it. I know of no other invention that will be of greater importance than that of a free energy instrument. I enjoy all invention. I enjoy all technology. But I will say without equivocation, if we can harness free energy and power the world, that will be the greatest invention mankind has ever been awarded, experienced.
Okay, so I'm going to start my free 15-day trial. Hypothetically speaking, and I do have a lot of faith in you, Tom, I start my 15-day free trial. And over the next 15 days, amazing things happen in my life. Even if I had my blood tested before, my blood tested after, my blood levels are better. There's so many more positive things in my life. How can I prove that it's because of your machine?
You can't. This is such a new science, and nobody's ever duplicated my work. Now, if 10 researchers had my instrument and we had similar results, then we would say, well, there's a common denominator. I'm the only one with this type of instrument. It's custom built. So our website has 4,000 testimonies. That begins to tell the story. But until independent groups can either substantiate or debunk what I'm doing, then I'm the only guy in town right now.
Okay. Now, I keep trying to tie this ribbon around or close this loop on consciousness and scalar energy. And there's no way to really bridge that gap so people can see it on a graph or on a chart. Right. But how do people understand what consciousness means in the first place, and how they can become more conscious to live a healthier and happier life?
Let's just think about a thought, a human thought, reasoning. What is the animating force of thought, reasoning, creativity, projection, interpretation? How do we have human thought? Has to be some type of intelligence. What intelligence? Scalar intelligence. Without the energy from the sun and the stars, we would not have scalar waves. We could not think. So what's the point? Scalar energy is responsible for all instructions, including mental instructions, creativity, projection, emotion. It's responsible for our circadian rhythm. Our body has to survive, has to be instructed. Otherwise, we're just a mass of atoms and molecules. What gives us instructions? Why is it that we have nerve impulses? It has to be some type of animating force.
Okay, so how do people create more of that animating force?
We all have a mind and a heart. And the mind and the heart are the scalar energy vessels that God has given us. Our mind and our heart far exceed this instrument. This instrument is a stepping stone, if you will. The human mind, the human heart are God-given scalar energy vessels.
Yeah. Okay. And we have to create more peace in our mind and more love in our heart.
Yes, that's the key. Yes, that's the key.
Okay.
To be, if you, that only makes sense because love, this is the energy of love, is always constructive. Hate always tears down. So, you project, you get what you ask for. If you project love, compassion, and some type of have a productive lifestyle, you're going to get that. You're going to inherit that. If you're destructive, well, a lot of people don't realize it, but that's what they inherit in life. And their life is then meaningless or their life is flawed.
So how do we get more people to understand scalar energy?
What you're doing. Thank you for your effort today.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's the narrative. Now, no fault on anybody's part. I don't expect people to study this for 40 years of their life, as I have. There are very few, if you will, scientists who've ever been able to control scalar energy. It's a new science. So I have to be thankful that at least some people are interested. As a new science, it takes time. Can you imagine the computer industry 100 years ago was just theory? Well, that's where we're at right now with scalar. It's theory, and just a few practitioners like myself. It takes time to catch on.
Yeah. Well, I'm very interested and passionate about it because over the last 8 years, I've been meditating daily and I've been praying and I've been trying to ground and I've been mindful. I've been learning about the law of attraction and quantum field and the universe and how it all ties together and how I can use it to live a better life and make more money and be healthier and be happier and attract amazing people and amazing things. And I've seen incredible results. I really have. That I've decided to double down on a lot of the daily goals that I hit that are more centered around self-care and mental health. So I'm really interested in it, and I would love to start my 15-day free trial. And is there anything specific, though, that we could focus on?
Not necessarily. If you
to see if
you want to focus on something, then see, let's say you don't sleep very well. Sometimes this chakra balancing will produce a deeper sleep with dream recall. If that's what you want to focus on, so be it. Other people say, I have sinuses. And if their sinuses clear up, then some people attribute it to this energy that can eradicate bacteria. Others will say that they have a sense of elation, a sense of euphoria. Well, probably because this life force energy is removing any negative consequence or many negative consequences, and you're in alignment with scalar energy. If you're in alignment with scalar energy, you're in alignment with bliss and harmony and love. This is the energy of love. So you put all of that together, there's thousands of potential outcomes. I let people tell the story. That's the key.
Yeah. Well, what's been your biggest success story so far?
You know, we've been working with an HIV/AIDS clinic. We've worked with over 5,000 people in Delhi, India. The clinic is called Om Prakash HIV/AIDS Clinic. And after working with over 5,000 people in Delhi, India, these are some of the people, everybody reports that they feel better. Now, many of those people have had a follow-up PCR test, and the PCR test is negative. No viral load. Here's one of the examples. That's a PCR test from Delhi, India. No viral load after being positive for 10, 15 years. So that's very convincing. After 5,000 people have gone through our protocol by way of a photograph, and in no way have I influenced their thinking, these people say, yes, I feel better. Again, I've never been to Delhi, India, so I cannot influence them.
Wow. And how long do you put their picture in front of the Scalar Energy device?
It only took 1 month, and these people say that they feel great. 1 month.
Wow. Now, why do you think that's the timetable? Is that related to the moon cycle or the tides or the stars in the universe? Galaxies?
Usually it takes people at least a week or 2 weeks to experience something. Sometimes people say, I want to be treated for 30 days. We'll allow that. And in so doing, once they have at least a week or two that they can feel the energy, not just one day, and then they can see the before and after results, say after a week or two, then they're believers. 3 or 4 weeks for some people, but you can't do it just one day. People like to feel this for at least, again, a week or two. The greater majority of people who come to our website and try the 15-day free trial, the greater majority say, I felt better. Something happened. Now, I don't expect them to understand it because it's a new science, but their testimony is very favorable. We have 4,000 testimonies on the website. Most of them are very favorable.
Yeah, that's amazing. Guys, if you're listening on Audible, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, head over to scalarlight.com. That's spelled SCALARLIGHT.com. I'm also going to drop the link to the website below in the show notes. Tom, it was awesome getting to know you. It was great learning about Scalar Energy. Is there anything else that you want to tell the audience about?
No.
Or any other topics that you feel like really need to be discussed today?
I'm going to ask people simply to go to our website. We have many articles, if you really want to delve into it, that explain my work. But I want to leave the audience with this. The mind, the human mind and the human heart are scalar energy vessels. Everybody has this potential, whether you have an instrument in a laboratory or you just want to use your mind and your heart. You really can decide the outcome of so many things in your life by the way you think and by the way you feel. So the takeaway from our conversation is utilize scalar energy. That's the energy of love. Utilize it. You have two vessels, the mind and the heart, that you can utilize it to its fullest capacity.
That's it. And the two exercises to utilize those vessels is meditation for the mind, yes, and prayer for the heart.
Yep, I would say so. Very good. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. Good, Tom. Well, it was great getting to know you. And to all those people out there that want to learn more about Tom, you can head over to YouTube, type in Tom Paladino. I was watching a couple of his YouTube videos earlier today, and you can see testimonials from the clinic in Delhi of the people that have been receiving all these amazing benefits over the last couple weeks and over the last few months. So look, guys, I believe in this. This is a real thing. Energy is real. It comes down to this. Our body is matter. Matter is energy. Energy is basically vibrational waves. You cannot see them. They're invisible. Just like Wi-Fi, it's invisible. But through thoughts and emotions, we can change these patterns to be more symmetrical, to vibrate at a higher frequency, whatever you want to call it, to live a healthier life. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Tom, can you agree with that? Or is there anything else you would
Yes.
interject?
And it stands to reason. Once again, light energy is fundamental. It observes the laws of science. It's immutable. And once you access those laws of science, you'll have a definite outcome, a favorable outcome, because the laws of science cannot be changed. You work hand in hand with science, you'll benefit.
Yeah, that's it, guys. So not only learn to channel your energy, but get outside, feel the ground on the bottom of the feet of your soles of your feet, excuse me. Get into the ocean, stargaze, watch the moon, and watch all the amazing things happen in your near future. Tom, thank you so much for your time today. This was nothing short of a pleasure. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about before we wrap up today?
You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, Tom, thank you so much.